Soul will get his audio fixed.
I really hate that, Discord doesn't like our
Hello?
audio. There we go.
Hey,
He lives. Look at all of these viewers. How beautiful. Good morning. Yat e apine.
might need to bring up Oki.
Hello.
Bring him up.
Bring him up. Bring him up.
Hey,
Okay, I
guys.
want to test your mic. There we go.
Can you hear me?
TikTok.
Yeah, we hear you, Soul.
Perfect.
Let me get the
How-
chats open.
How are you guys enjoying your Sunday?
Yo, I have the weirdest Sunday. Like I know on our end for our SVS block, we have gotten in some weird matches just because we've had people come in, we've lost people, so it's been real up and down. We're in a silver match right now against a 1000 server, and we're in 707. So it's, with the exception of build day, we are absolutely wrecking them. But I feel bad. Like, half of these guys don't even know what a T9 looks like.
T9.
And yeah, a T9. They don't even know what a T9 looks like. They're trying to come at me with T8s, and they have paid for stuff. Like, they have all the paid for insects. Like, well, not all of them, but they have paid for insects. They have paid for ants. They're coming at me with T8s, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Y'all are still growing. They'll get there. This is weird. I'm not used to being strong against a CC or a Hornet. It's just so weird. It's giving me a complex though. I feel like a big guy. Oh, do. I love it when we see all the people. Why do y'all let me just sit up here and stammer and sing to you people?
Let me know when you want to go live, young man.
In
In 1 minute.
10,
10
9,
minutes.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, let's do it. Yat e apine. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the beautiful people in the ant world. It has been a very interesting week with all the new updates that we experienced last week, but we didn't get to talk about them a whole lot because we didn't know a whole lot about them yet. So, for starters here, we got the new ant. The little insect guy, the green hornet, the emerald gem, the backline killer, the insane. And I'm absolutely jealous of you if you have this, by the way. The insane emerald jewel. This thing is so stinking cool looking. I love it so much. I really wish I would have gotten one. I'm sure there's plenty of you that did get some, or maybe y'all got 17 and 8-starred the little guy. But so far, we want to see some reports. Let's see what. Now, I know Soul didn't get this, which is absolutely mind boggling. But one of our new guys, okay, I'm gonna bring him up here. Let's see what you're thinking about this this emerald gem.
Jewel.
Okay, Rex.
Jewel,
I'm-
jewel,
Jewel.
not gem,
Jewel.
jewel,
Jewel.
jewel. Wizard of
Oh,
Oz.
yeah.
He is not a gem, he is a jewel. A crown jewel.
So the emerald jewel, right?
Yes. Gem, jewel, it's all the same.
Okay,
Potato,
so I
potato.
think the most whales already got the jewel. Already updated to 7 to 8 stars. And what I've seen, the formation they are using is Black Knight, Jewel, Latte, also the silver at the end if they have already Fast Jungle enabled. I've seen also the jewel in the last row with Formica in the middle. That is, I think, the most common setup. The overall performance, yeah, the Ant is very good. I've seen also some PvE reports. It's doing good damage on the Pangolin. It was losing some 10-20% after the latte. So very good overall.
And just out of curiosity, I'm not sure if Soul would have seen this, but how is it holding up against Saharan Silver, or is it holding its own?
From the reports that I've been seeing, like in PvE and PvP matchups, it's definitely a compliment to Saharan Silver, it seems. I don't, let me see if I can pull up one real quick here. But yeah, like this thing is doing some massive damage. I think here's a example of like a PvP with using Black Knight and Saharan Silver in the back row. So it's definitely getting very good kills. But what really impressed me were some of the PvE scores that I saw. I mean, this thing was hitting huge damage compared to some other ants. Here's a PvE report that we saw. You know, comparing it to like a 8-star LS, the 0-star Emerald did over almost 100 million more. But look at Saharan just pop off there. So it's it was definitely a good addition to shooters and maybe GSS formations. I don't know. It's going to be it's going to definitely be a game changer. So we'll see what happens.
It definitely looks like it. Honestly, it kind of makes me excited to see that people are still using GSS, especially considering the fact that we have all these synergy ants now. Because I'm always seeing where people are like, I gotta make the move. I gotta make the move from GSS to shooter or make a guard lineup because I'm GGS. So it's exciting to see, especially if I land that Saharan Silver. Oh, I'm putting in work, boy. I'm putting in work. I'm coming for your soul. No, I'm kidding. Yo, so
You better hope
another.
he's sleeping for the next 6 months.
Oh, dude. Do you have any melatonin that I can borrow?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Tonic
Uh,
just posted an awesome report. Look at how many kills that
oh,
thing.
geez, dude. That whole thing is just doing that. That's two of my squads in a march, dude. Like, and then everything else is picking up the remainder.
Just a
Okay.
reminder for those of you that are now joining us. Wolfie, check it now. I think I added the perms to where you should see it. But we have the live ID channel where you can post your live ID so we can have the fairies send you guys a nice little gift. Also, chat away in the live chat along with any questions you may have. Feel free to answer in the live questions thread. And we'll get to your questions as soon as possible. Also, feel free to put the raise hand and we'll bring you up on stage to answer any questions you may have during the live. Also, for those of you having problems listening in, I don't know if you can hear me now, obviously, but I did post the YouTube live where we are broadcasting on. So with the continuing problems that Discord is having on their stage function, some of you may have to go over to YouTube to listen in.
And don't worry, we got an awesome 100% vetted mod on that chat. So if you have any questions or want to jump in or anything like that, Otto's got you because he's the best vato.
Remember to like and share on the video too. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. We will be broadcasting this and sharing it later in the Discord. So we are changing things up, guys. So I don't know if anyone has noticed. We're going to be doing a little bit more, a lot more different stage events, and we're going to be broadcasting a lot more on YouTube because it seems like we're having some technical difficulties on the Discord. So stay tuned, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.
And just to let you guys know, like, we have contacted Discord a couple different times with the admin team here on Official to see what the issue is. And as of now, we have not been able to get a straight answer that they're working on it. So hopefully they will get it resolved. It seems to affect iPhone and iOS users more than Android, which is unfortunate. But as you can tell, even our stage team members, we've had to like come up and down off the stage and had to switch settings. I posted one of the like auto sensitivity seems to have some factor in it as well. So try a couple different things, but worst case scenario, head over to YouTube and you can listen in. If you do have any questions, just like I said, post it in the live question thread or even in the live chat, we'll answer it. Or if you post it in the questions on YouTube, that's being manned as well, so we can answer questions for our audience members. But thank you for your patience in the meantime while this is getting worked out. Now on to another subject that I recently fell into. The argument continues on R0ing players and whether or not this is something that is good, bad, or indifferent in the game. You have plenty of players that are adamantly against the ability to R0 another player. You have teams and leaders of teams that seem to think R0 is a good feature that was added to the game. I can tell you I am among that camp personally. So it's kind of just want to know what your thoughts are on this, guys. Have you had a situation where a player has had to be put in R0? What are those situations? What do you feel is acceptable, not acceptable? And is there a responsibility from the game developer to correct or fix how it's implemented?
I think they should add more as far as like what it could be used for instead of just like, hey, here this thing is, do what you want. Because in honor of Cleo, I gotta do this. And I know you're out there. Never gonna give you up because I don't want to send somebody out there. Like I don't want to no. Like it makes me feel bad because then you're only messaging the R5, the R4s, or the at least the officers in game, and you gotta sit there and listen to somebody whine, even if it's for a few minutes that they've been placed in R0. Like no, like I feel like maybe there should be different degrees of R0 because R0 is like I need that teleport function because right now you're in the way. You had a job and you failed. You were supposed to be here. That was your one job. One job was supposed to be here and participate. You're not doing that. So move.
So Rex, what I'm understanding is you would actually like more functionality in the ability for R5s and maybe officers to be able to teleport players, because that's really like for a well-oiled machine or a well-oiled alliance, the R0 is, in my opinion, a tool to move players, not to necessarily punish anybody. But the problem that I have is when you R0 someone because they're late to log on, or they are, they may have had a real life situation that prevented them from getting on in time, which we can all sympathize with that. But you R0 that person, it's 2 hours to move them. Like it's 2 hours to get them back into the fight, which I think is ridiculous. But it'd be nice if they could maybe add more functionality to the alliance availability. Like, you know how they released fairies for SVS points and allowing you to participate a little better. By the way, it would be nice if they allowed you to release fairies on, I don't know, island events. That would be nice. Just saying. um but yeah, I think what most people would like, and what I've heard in the community, is the R0 being abused, or is the R0 being used in a way where the R0 wasn't meant to be used? Like, a lot of people are using it for teleportation ability. So why not just give us the ability for teleportation?
Yeah.
know?
So here's the thing. Like, I think in proper hands, but it is a good function. It is something that was needed. It does probably cut back on, as Conic mentioned, cyberbullying and other issues that may arise. Now, the only issue I have with R0 is, we have heard that there are R5s, officers, alliances in general that may abuse that feature because, personally, my belief is that no player should be able to affect another player's game in such a manner. That's why, like in our alliance, it is like with first off, we've never R0'd a player until end of event, right? 95% of the time that we've ever had to use the R0 function was simply to move a hill that was in the way of battle and the player had gone AFK or was not responding to Discord pings to please log in and move your hill. All those attempts are made before we make the decision to R0 a player. But again, I know not every alliance is operated the same way or has the same mentality, but it would take quite a bit. It would take like a very abusive player towards other teams, or being very disrespectful in chat, for us to even consider putting them in R0 for any length of time, because just our belief is you don't never want to deny any player potential rewards. Okay. So it's the question is it a little too much, right? Is it too big of a uh, power trip, let's say, for some players to have that effect? I think when used properly, it's not. But again, the argument from members of the community are that's giving quite a lot of power for one player to have over another player, because it totally affects their gameplay for what could be 45 days of them playing the game. So just with the limitations that it puts in there. Personally, I like that it's an option there, because I do think that players in general are more respectful, knowing what the possible outcome for their gameplay could be if they're put in R0 for 30 days, and the rewards that they're going to lose if, let's say, the team is winning the event, or even if they're losing, whatever potential rewards are eliminated from them being in R0. So I don't know. It's kind of a catch-22.
Right, like it has some good uses for it, and as long as it's managed properly, it's definitely a tool. It's definitely something that we can use. I think there should be honestly a degree change. I think is what would make the R0 position a little bit more beneficial. Something that you're utilizing either just to teleport. If there is that, something that we're talking about in the chat here is the fact that you have players that are toxic. You have people that are cyberbullying each other with this R0, and then we're stuck. So how can you manage that to where you're seeing that different level of degree? Maybe your R5 is the one that's that's displaying all these negative characteristics, and what point and how far should you actually go to make any sort of changes, especially while you're in season. And that's kind of the thing, is being in season makes it 10 times harder because now you are stuck. Your hill is stuck. And you're absolutely right there, Connect, only the R4 or the R5s can actually start that entire vote to leave the season.
Yeah, I would
be
like to
R9.
I would like to see maybe like some sort of that would be ideal, you know, where let's say like maybe, I mean, we all know that the officers can place and remove players from R0 just like the R5 could, but you know, like maybe like a situation where like 3 of them would have to put them in R0 or something. I don't know. You know, the assumption is that you would have some sort of recourse to appeal the decision or something along those lines would be a nice implementation, I think.
So you're thinking it should be like when a submarine wants to launch its nukes, there needs to be the captain's code and the first mate confirm before it happens. Is that what you're?
I mean, maybe that would do it. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm kind of an optimist when it comes to players in general, right? Like, I don't think there's very many players in this game that are, you know, like toxic to the point that they want to deny another player rewards. I think in a vast majority of the cases when someone is put in R0, there is a legitimate reason for it. You know, I don't know. I guess maybe I have a lot of faith in players in general because that's been my experience in this game. But I also know that, like, you know, there's 2 sides to every story, right? Like, they may not feel that whatever they did was deserving of being placed in R0, but I think in a vast majority of the cases that, you know, there is some sort of reason, whether it's legitimate enough or not to warrant that level of punishment, so to say. That's kind of hard to tell, you know. So
Yeah.
Now, for the big wonder, the big curiosity, the big kahuna of Mondays and free development day, especially if you're needing something extra for a day or 2, maybe 7. The new STAM update. I've heard a lot of mixed messages here. I've heard of people only getting a few shells out of it. We have people that are getting close to 9 shells. What tactics have you guys seen so far that people are getting the STAM needed to be able to get 9 shells, 6 shells, six shells, if I can say that in proper English without getting tongue tied?
So yesterday was kind of the first potential for utilizing stamina. If someone had selected build day, they could implement the new system that was in place. I think Oki had a alliance member or a friend of his actually choose that day in testing to see how far he could go, and we are going to show that to you guys in game right now. Oki, can you kind of explain you know, what the situation was and how far this player was able to get with only using stamina towards points on build day?
Oh yeah, so we have prepared, let's say, 3-4 players started this free zone until development SVS yesterday, and with a full zone development evolutions, they started after the reset, and they try to maximize the rewards. So they always use the Raspberry. They always try to maximize the rewards itself. So they send the troops like every 3 hours. and one of the players almost made it to 9 shells. So it's, when you are at the server,
So I
when you
just
are not in the
posted.
season, it's definitely much improvement. So
I just posted that players attempt here towards reaching shells solely by using stamina. So the only question that we have that we were not able to answer before stage started was how many points per stamina use were they able to, there's variation across the different servers. What server is this player in?
this is 997.
Okay, so this player's in 997. So we're not quite sure if any of our state or any of the members here are in a server that's plus or minus, let's say maybe 10, 15 servers from that. So we are assuming that they may have 10K points for stamina, but I'm not 100% sure, Ulexi. Okay, so this player started with 400 stamina on all units, supposedly, popped an advanced raspberry on every single attempt at spending stamina, and was able to go the 24 hours using all stamina to get to almost 9 shells. And then they wound up finishing off the 9th shell with like a germ improvement or something along those lines. So I'm hoping it was 10K. If it was 8K, that would be even better. But I'm going to assume 10K since that seems to be the max points per stamina use currently.
Yeah,
Yo.
we also spoke about, let's say, feasibility to do it on Monday, right? Because on the day 2, you have gathering day. So let's say you try to pre-gather 8 to 10 hours, maybe even 12 hours. So on Monday itself, it is very limited. You either sacrifice the gathering day and all the pre-gathering, try to maximize the rewards from stamina, or you have to build anyway. So
I think gathering day you can still hit 9 shells even if you don't pre-gather at all. I think it's still possible. You'd have to be a gatherer, and again, we talked about this briefly last week on stage that this may change things drastically as far as how people schedule their things, because obviously you have no option to pre-gather if you're attempting to hit 9 shells on build day strictly by using stamina. You would have to go into the day with 400 stamina on all units, and you would have to really make sure you're logging on at, like you said, every couple hours to make sure your stamina is always at 0, basically, to make this happen. So there was another, I think, discussion also that I was having with Guppy, who's in our audience right now, that there were tests made to see if you could kind of game the system a little bit by purposely hunting or rallying against lizards to lose, because half the stamina is returned to you. So whether it would count as 20 stamina and then you got a return of 10 stamina, but it appears that some of those tests indicate that you are not given points for the returned stamina. So that was something that was discussed, but it looks like it may have been either patched by the devs or never an ability to gain the points. So I think it's interesting.
Yo.
I didn't think you would be able to get that far strictly using stamina, but I'm definitely going to test it for sure tomorrow. So
Yeah, that's a game changer. That's awesome.
yeah, I mean, the amount of creature remains that this now offers players who have been stuck with no buildings to build while they're on server is is definitely a huge improvement, and one that I was very happy to see implemented. Honestly, like for me, even if I could hit 6 shells with it, I would be absolutely amazed. So that, that's a pretty significant improvement in creature remains that we haven't been able to get for a while.
Right now, the next step is going to be getting people back their Evo day, because you got people that are done with that too.
Well, there's very few people I think that are done with Evo Day, and even if they're close to being done with Evo Day, I the evolution is something that can be added. Like they added excellent enhance once a number of players hit triple T10s, right? So we'll see on that, but I don't think there's enough players that are close to completing excellent enhance yet to, I'm sure there are some that are very close, or there might even be a few that have completed it, but I don't think a vast majority of players have gotten 3 T10s and maxed out excellent enhance.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty far along. No, I'm kidding. I haven't even gotten 1 T10 yet.
Me either, man. Me either.
It's all a work in progress. Yo, but I agree. I would love to see at least 6 shells. Put me back in the game. Put me back in the run-in to get these T10s up. I'm so close. I can taste them. I can see them. They're coming my way. But it feels like it's going to take 4 more months. Now, for one of our trials here, I absolutely love to see this, because with this, we've been seeing a little bit of change-ups on the carrier end of things, and he is actually a carrier main for those that are loving the carriers in the audience. So I'm going to go ahead and let him take over with this one here. So what changes have you seen up with LP, LB that's making this swap help out here for you, okay?
Oh, so you mean the direct counter against the Emerald Jewel, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so what we have seen and what I did basically was to swap the LP and LB. So the LP is taking the hit from Emerald and LB is still outputting the damage. So basically the Emerald is vulnerable to this counter. That is what we have seen. I'm not sure about the Vast Junglands. It is possible that you could do some shenanigans like that too.
I'm curious if there's anybody in the audience or anybody that's kind of just out there that has utilized guards against this guy. If anybody's been successful with that, because I don't know, I'm kind of curious. Black Knight seems like a good competitor or a good assistant with this whole GSS lineup. Maybe, I don't know, a Harry Panther. Nah, I'm probably not. As much as I want to love my Guardians, I don't. If anybody's going to be on that skill or on that level with that Emerald Gem. But yo, back to everyone's favorite controversial topic. Pirates. Piracy. So something that I've been seeing a lot here lately is we have people that are being pirates, and it's great. It helps, honestly, it kind of helps achieving your defenses, but there's some that are taking it too far. What are some of the best practices that y'all utilize whenever it's coming down to somebody that's coming to you, they're being heinous, and you can't identify them because they keep changing their names? What's something that y'all guys do?
You can send them a message. It's a good strategy. And if they change their name, you still have the message with them, and the message changes the name.
Look at you thinking outside the box. I like that. Honestly, I had never even thought of that. Mainly just because I didn't want that in my life.
You can block them too.
Yeah, but how are you gonna keep an eye on them? What if we want to use
block, one in game, it will and you go and check your block list, it will always tell you what name change they changed to. But then you can't communicate with them or whatever. But that is something that is available in the game. So, and not only that, you can also see what servers they've gone to in CSC or what server they're currently on. So if you really have a problem with a player and you block them, they will forever be on your block list in whatever name they change from, as well as what server they're currently on.
I love how drastic that sounds. Forever. and on top of that, they obviously you can't communicate, or they can see what you type, but you can't see what they type. But whatever, that's what you're gonna want to do. So. Yo, I love that.
You Lexi. I never even thought of that one. That's a good one. You can block them with a farm.
Yo,
if you have a farm, track people without actually blocking them.
that is
on your
not a
main.
bad idea. I'm gonna go block everybody on my
That
phone.
is awesome. I might have to implement that. Create a farm just simply for block list, and then refer to it when deciding on whether a player should come into an alliance or not. Really like that one, you Lexi. Good call.
Oh man. Then they would never know. How they know? Yo, that is so cool. I love these ideas. What were you guys like
honestly,
3 weeks ago?
Rex, I'm not joking. Like, part of the reason I love, coming to stage and participating in this is like you get these awesome ideas that people come up with. I would have never even thought of that. That is an awesome one, Ulexi. Thank you.
Ulexi, where were you 3 weeks ago when I needed you? Like that, honestly, that's the other big thing right now too, because as I mentioned, I'm on 707, and our leadership is very, very picky about who is coming to server, what their reputation's like, how they play as a team for the entire server, not just the individual alliances or with anyone that they're coming with as far as like an alliance or party, guild, whatever you want to call it. And doing that one trick would put, I don't know how many people off the map that have made it in, because it's a very peaceful server. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we have a purge day, and that purge day is so boring because I think we have a total of 7 people willing to fight at all hours of the day, and I'm one of them. And I'm not even strong. I'm not strong. So like I get bored fast because I just keep getting beat up, and I come back with the black eye or two. My poor Reap Master. But that is awesome. I would absolutely love to see that. I'm gonna have to start using that, Ulexi. I appreciate you for that. Yo.
That is definitely a great one.
That is a great one. I love how hidden that is though too, because you're gonna be on your farm. You can still talk back with them back and forth on your main because they're gonna know who your main is. And you're not typically gonna talk with them on your farm, and you just got it locked away like a little key. It's in a safe. I know this guy. He's a tyrant. He's a mischievous little Loki. Low-key. Oh my goodness. 2 of my phones.
How are you on event right now, Rex?
No, so we've been trying to do a revamp, essentially, because we had some players that are needing to go AFK for a while, so we've lost, I don't know, maybe like 20%, 30% of the alliance, which also included some of our biggest, strongest fighters. So we've been trying to get some people to come in And that's why it's been such a struggle to get them in. We have players that their numbers look great, their power looks strong. They got ants that are getting stars like crazy. Not necessarily so much for like paid for ants, but finding people that meet the server's qualifications as that server member and that good reputation is the hardest thing. So being on server is so boring. so boring. We need a
And
lifestyle change on server.
today's KE is just a snooze fest. I remember couldn't wait for today to fight in these KEs, but now with so many teams like either on event or it's always like one alliance is missing or a couple of them are on something. We've been on KEs that the entire server was dead. There was nobody on the server because all of the alliances were on event. So you like poured in to take over squirters and nobody's attacking because they can't. There's no one on the server. So that's definitely one thing that has changed from initial gameplay, or if you're in a newer server right now, that's enjoy those days until the events start opening up and people start going to them, because there's definitely some nostalgia and missing of that time where you would start right from the start of reset till the end of reset. Everybody's fighting and hitting nodes and battling for squirters. I don't remember the last time I was able to attack a squirter and like launch 30 people, make them go flying. That was some good times.
You know what you
Or
need to do, man?
Or even getting launched, we would face these players and this like whale would come and hit the squirter and all 30 of us would go flying while it's still under the buff.
Now, Soul, you can't fool us, man. You can't say this whale would come and not be the whale. We know you're an orca.
No.
You're an orca, bud.
I was a very little guy at one point. I still remember faced a team that like probably one of our first couple KEs. We faced a team that was like all SpongeBobbed out, right? Like their whole theme was where they had SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs and Pearl and all the characters of SpongeBob were among their team with their PFPs and names and whatever. And that guy, the I think Mr. Krabs was his name, dude. Flying, I didn't even know what the heck was going on. It actually scarred me so bad I couldn't watch SpongeBob anymore. I loved the show up until that point. No more SpongeBob for Soul.
In the midst of an ant game, gets taken out by Mr. Krabs. Can't watch TV of Mr. Krabs anymore. Now that's hilarious. Honestly, like I said, I feel like we need some sort of lifestyle change on server, or something that we can attach more to it. Because with it, I mean, we can build these territories in season. We can fight in season the way that we do. We have an extra chat for season chat. We need something on the server to make the server just that much more interesting. Because having KE, if you got people to fight against, it's wonderful. Like this, and I really hate to say it because this silver match has been my favorite match of, I don't know, the last several months, at least the last year, because we actually got I mean, granted, they're a relatively new server. They're server 1028. So if any of you are here, I'm sorry, because I definitely attacked your nodes if you were on my server. And it was cool. Like I got to see people go sit and seeing these guys just kind of come in and try to actually take over the server for once.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm surprised they don't. Wolfie made a very interesting point here that we need KE chat, same as in Rainforest, but for the entire day. You know how they open up that expedition channel when you go into Rainforest? That is something that I like have been wanting since the beginning. Like, we went to the extreme of posting our server Discord or our Alliance Discord, so player like in our hill status, just so we could communicate with the players from the opposite server. Like, if we would purposely go to battle them and then have it in our. I've had entire conversations by changing just the hill message with players. So
ooh,
it's
that's clever.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
That
I've
is
had
clever,
like,
Jay. Dude, having to go back to the short message using letters and numbers to talk. That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm geeking out
Port
so
next,
hard right now.
port,
Why didn't I think of that?
port next to the player that you're fighting or whatever, and just chit chat back and forth, and then invite them to like our alliance or our server Discord was something that we did very often. The players in our alliance, but to have a channel would be absolutely amazing. I mean, it would help in a number of different ways too, because let's at the end of the day, I've said this numerous times, we're all players in a game of ants, right? I mean, yeah, we have opponents, and yeah, we're competitive, and yeah, we want to win. We want to win SVS, we want to win our events and everything like that. But what really makes this game special is the community, and having the conversations, and learning about your alliance members daily lives and chatting with people. So that is something that would be able to like bring alliances together. Like, you can chit chat all day, and maybe that alliance will decide to come into your server and build up your server a little bit. I mean, I think the number one, Lexi just posted in chat that it's a good recruiting option if you match in the same group. And that's kind of, there's no better recruiting than that occurs during events, right? When you match with a team in your event, you guys work together. Let's say you're allies, you're working together very well, you're communicating with each other back and forth. And then maybe like, the two teams decide to like merge or get together. I think Otto is actually in that situation. I don't know if it was one of his allies or opponents on an event, but I'm pretty confident that they're merging because of meeting each other on an event. And same thing could be said with KE, because let's be honest, there's plenty of servers out there that have 1-2 alliances on them. When we started this game, there would be like up to 20 alliances on a server. So it's it would definitely be something that would be called for. I like that idea. I hope you go and post that in World Suggestions, Wolfie. I'll definitely vote that up.
Yo, same. I love that. I would love to have a chat just to talk smack to each other and then just like hang out, shoot the breeze, kill some antes. I was trying to make that rhyme, but that was an epic fail.
What's interesting with that comment, Soul, is Wolfie is actually in Viking, and
Oh.
we met through an alliance expedition,
Okay.
and
What?
we hit it off, and I guess my diplomats and my officers stayed in contact with the people who are respectful and have a good discourse in those alliance expeditions, and you find out the type of players there are out there by those events. And when you find a good group of people who have similar interests and have the similar likes and mannerisms, I guess not mannerisms, but same attitude, you want to play with them. So I think SVS should have definitely a channel, just like season chat, just like AE event because it makes no sense why it doesn't. It's a week-long event for servers. So nothing better than talking smack to another alliance or learning their tricks, right?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's funny because I've like there's been plenty of times that, you know, like actually week is a prime example, right? We we matched up with a newer server compared to us, 300 servers newer than us. And I've seen in the past where these servers will go on Facebook and be like terrified that they've matched up with an older server. But the truth of the matter is sometimes the newer servers will have major advantage because they have like a bigger population and they can win more of the events. And you know, it's funny because if you did have that communication channel, you could chit chat back and forth and, like you said, talk a little bit of smack or whatever, and you know, just laugh about it.
Yeah, have
So,
fun. Game's
you
all
know,
about having fun. I love having fun with other alliances and getting to know other players and how they joke around. Like it's part of the game. I think the community is the biggest part of this game. That's the biggest draw for me, is just meeting new people and learning about their lives, and like you said, just helping people out, genuinely wanting to help people out, and it's a fun experience for me.
yeah,
It's funny.
I
It,
still am. Sorry, go ahead, Rex.
I was gonna say, I was gonna chime off of what Otto was saying. It's crazy to think of like other games that you play. Like you have COD, you have other games that like you need an alliance every once in a while. You need that group to play with, but on not on this scale. This is a whole different scale of needing an alliance. You need that good group. You need a good team to not only play with you and grow, but to back you on each end. Because if y'all can get this thing down pat, I mean, there could be 30 of you, there could be 100 of you. And because of your varying strengths, oh, the possibilities in this thing are endless and it is insane. Never in a game have I seen where such a community driven impact can make such an insane result. I mean, you have people that are free to play. They are umpteen times weaker than a pay to play player. And that community, because of that level of community and communication that they have because of this game, oh, you get wrecked. Boy, you get wrecked.
I
Which
mean,
is why
here's
I
the
play
thing.
before you sold.
Here's the thing. Like, seriously, I've been a big proponent for, you know, these groups being combined. Okay, like I don't know about you, but I know, like at least in Otto's case, he's winding up matching with servers. I almost think he's matched with Group 3 servers being in. You're in Group 6, right, Otto?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so he's in Group 6 and he's already matching with Group 3.
Yep.
We matched our very first Lost Island with only teams in Group 3, but after the first one, we matched all the way with teams in Group 1. So the disadvantage for us is that we can never recruit players from, you know, those groups into our alliance but they can recruit with amongst each other because they're still in the same group. They can CSC into there. And so it is something that I really hope that the devs are looking into. Because personally, I feel that if you can match within, you know, older groups, you should be able to merge and CSC into those groups. So
Hallelujah.
that would
How
be
At least the server that you match against is a server you can migrate to or from,
Right?
exactly.
at minimum. And it should only be a limited amount of time. I'm not saying combine the groups. I'm saying make it so that if you do come across a really good group, it could be a smaller group that wants to come to a newer server, or even vice versa. I find it a little difficult for maybe the older servers to absorb players from newer servers, because there might be such a disadvantage in some respects. But if you're matched against them, then where's the disadvantage? I don't see where, if I'm able to fight you and I'm able to go toe to toe, then I should be able to keep my own on that server. So, you know, I'm a big fan, and I think Soul and I are both in 100% agreement on this. That open up the CSC. Open,
Yeah.
open.
Yeah. And to answer Guppy's question there, I like as a person on a younger server, I would love to be able to chat with people in Warzone Expedition. Like most of the time, not all the time, we're against servers that are kind of close to us. We could merge to them, so it'd be great to be able to talk to them.
How
lot
are
of
they
the-
doing though, as far as like activity?
A lot of the younger servers than us seem to be more active, so we get slapped around in most of the days, and then normally on Groundhog Day and when we fight, we beat them. But
So
kind
here's
of the opposite when we face younger servers.
here's the thing that's kind of funny that I've seen occur in numerous instances. I've seen players that like were in group one, for example, and they played the game a couple years in, whatever. You know, as people drop off from their server, as their friends leave the game or whatever, as their hill's not developing at a fast enough rate, maybe they're not as fully active as other players. I've seen players just drop their account and go into a newer server. Now, where this is like unique in the sense that us playing in the older servers don't have this advantage, is now you have these experienced players that can build their accounts very quickly, as well as teach the noobs that are joining into the server how to play the game and what to chase and what to do. And so I see that these newer servers are developing at a much faster rate than we did, because we were kind of stumbling along and learning as we went. Whereas, you know, if you're in an older server or a newer server, you may have a couple players that are in that server that have already played the game and maybe stopped playing for a couple months and then decided to get back in. And you know what? I'm just going to start a new account in a 1200 server, and boom, you have a super experienced player
You know the most dangerous players like that, Soul, are the ones who already made the mistakes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like the ones who made the mistakes on their first, they're the most dangerous when they go to those older servers, because they figured it out, but they know they figured it out too late. Then they come to a newer server and it's like bang 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 bang, and you're sitting there as a new player going, how is this guy developing so fast? How is he ahead? Well, he's already made the mistakes that you're currently making. So, you know, the great thing about this game, though, is communication is key in learning everything. And I will say this, I had a good friend, his name was King Tofu. He started off and he literally voice chatted with me the first couple weeks I was playing. And this is the best advice he ever gave me. All the information is in the game, just read it. Just click on things. There's a lot of wealth of knowledge in the game. Some of it might be a little older and irrelevant, but you know, click on everything and just read. Do a lot of reading and understanding, and you'll do well in the game.
Brent Ness just, they're currently on server 858. See that development as well, that it's a much faster development. I mean,
Yeah.
I was shocked. Okay. And Brent Nessel may even know who the player is, but I was sent a screenshot of, I want to say server 850, but don't quote me on that. They had a player that already had a 94 level insect. I was like
850.
I was like absolutely shocked. I'm like, you know, playing the game for 3 years and, you know, I spending money in the game, and I don't have my insect is, I think, level 8. My best insect is level 88, but to get to a level 94 insect is absolute insanity, especially for a server as new as 850. It's just insane. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's kind of the nature of the game, I guess, right?
And then it kind of makes you wonder why someone would migrate to a server like that.
Oh my god, I would be running away.
Oh my!
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Guns.
Maybe
Scores are gonzo.
maybe it's because I've kind of been swimming with the orcas for
Yeah.
quite a while.
Swimming with the orcas.
Yeah, Koenig,
I
to
do
answer.
find that players like that are kind of no nonsense, right? They're not, they're not using their troops to like bully around other players and stuff like that. They're more in it for the, you know, team oriented goals and stuff. I did see we have a, let's see. Oh, look at that. I've seen wow, 1107 and with a that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that was our opponent in the last Lost Island.
Holy cheese.
He has T10s already on
Speak-
1107.
Speaking of sex, some breaking news. I'm not going to post the picture because I don't have permission from the player, but there is a player in this game that does have a level 99 insect. Okay. So that is level 100 is the highest you can get. I still don't know what the requirements are to jump from 99 to 100 and how close that player is. But there's definitely a player in this game that has a 99 level insect and is about to max it. So,
Requirement number 1, 100 grand. Requirement
Yeah.
number 2, about 6 months.
it's actually more. No, if you do the calculation auto, it's more than 100.
Oh, is
Okay,
it more than 100 grand? Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean,
Only
Think of-
100 grand. Only 100
No,
grand,
no.
Otto.
you have to calculate. I think you need to have 3 insects at level 90.
90. Yep.
in order to get from 99 to 100. So not only do you have to have that one insect to 99, but to get from 99 to 100, it's either going to be like level 85 or level 90 that would be required on the 2 other insects. So that is definitely the amount of scent shell, and I think it's closer to a minimum of 150. Minimum.
Jeez.
Jake Dog, he was a joy to fight.
Yeah.
Car
Bro.
or insect? Home or insect?
Bro, it's all right. I'll give you a hug, bro. Cause no. Oh my god. Like
That
I
was a long
level
island.
99. Yeah, I bet, bro, cuz to me level 99 is just it's in my head level 99 is in 7 years. And that's if the game is still active.
Don't
Because
say that. Don't say that. The game will be active.
the game better be active if I'm spending this much time to play a game on ants.
I
Like, bro,
I was at a buddy's house last night and I was checking my phone and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just checking my game." And they're like, "Oh, what game are you playing?" I'm like, "It's called The Ants Underground Kingdom." And they're like, "You're playing with ants?" And I'm like, "Yeah, here, let me show you." And they're just looking at me like, "What is wrong with you, bro?" I was like, "You don't even know."
bro. Oh my god, I've never related to somebody talking about the ants to other people so much.
The best part was I was like, "I need to win this money. I need a new insect." We were playing a little cards last night, so it was an interesting trying to get them to give me some money. But yeah, like when you're trying to explain your passion for this game to some people, they don't get it, bro. They do not get it.
Yo, and then not to beat a dead horse, but coming back to that community driven basis, that's what is the biggest addicting part of this. Because as far as you can go and as far as you can get with all the resources that you have right now, what's bringing you back is every single one of the people that you have in your alliance. or your server, or both.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
And it's the craziest thing to have to explain to somebody. Yeah, I'm playing Ants. No, it doesn't even sound cool. Sound like a nerd. It's not even like I'm being old school. Like I'm gonna go play some Mario or something. But no, I'm playing Ants because these guys are awesome.
They're
Oh
talking
my
about
god.
these guys are talking about their golf games and what they shot in the day, and I'm like, I got my 9th shell.
I'm out here playing football. Soccer for Americans. I'm out here playing football, man. I got 2 goals today. Cool. I killed 100,000 ants
Yeah,
in 2 hours.
people don't understand. People don't understand the struggle.
It's an addiction. We're all addicted to ants, and
What
anybody
did you
that's
just?
here.
Don't say that. Don't
I'm
say
sorry.
that, Rex.
I'm gonna have to go to AAA.
If my wife listens to this, she's gonna. Yeah, exactly. My wife's gonna send me to AAA.
AAA. Oh my
She's
goodness.
gonna take away my credit card privileges. You're spending money on
Oh,
what?
nothing.
All she sees is Apple Pay, Apple Pay, Apple Pay, Apple Pay. She doesn't know what it's for.
Oh
Uh,
jeez.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey guys, it has come down to about that time, and as we hate to go, we do have to because time periods, the devs, admins. It's also taco time. So, with that, don't forget to post your IDs there for a nice little reward for the fairies for attending with us today and all of our madness, as well as don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for anybody that's in our live feed on YouTube. And I appreciate every single one of y'all for being here. Y'all definitely make these chats a lot easier and a ton to enjoy. So don't forget to share with your friends. Share with your friends. Bring them over here. Have them talk to us. Send us questions. Tell us things. Share the battle report. Share the battle report. Do it.
Share the reports that we can't decipher.
Right? Especially if they're not in English, Spanish. I think somebody here speaks Turkish. I don't know. Send us the ones that we can't read. Send me Arabic. Oh wait, no, Soul can do that. Never mind.
Soul can speak Arabic. I don't think he can read it. He said.
I mean, that's half the battle.
Yeah. Speaking, it's easy.
Yeah,
I guess.
right.
Well,
But with that, guys, we do appreciate y'all so much. Have a great and beautiful Sunday. It's gonna be a great one. Have fun with finishing off your KE and starting a new battle and matchup for next week. We'll
And
see you guys
guys,
next week.
hold on, guys, before you end it, if you do remember, take screenshots of your um, attempts. For those that have completed building day this Monday, take screenshots, see how far you were able to go using stamina and stuff. I'm really curious to confirming the reports from that player that shared with us how far they got, if we can do it just by spending stamina, get that high. Because if that's the case, I'm sure a lot of the players out there will want to rethink their strategy when it comes to whether or not it's worth pre-gathering or not. So we can share that on next week's stage. That's one of the topics that we definitely are going to cover once everyone has kind of participated in that ability. So thank you guys, and hope you have a wonderful day.
bye.
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 See you.